Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Game 2 of the 1975 National League Championship Series as determined by both the replay PC baseball game, the Stratomatic baseball game, and the Saturday NBC game of the week combination between the two. And they determined that the Phillies and the Reds were division winners. So now we're in the NLCS. The Reds won Game 1 on a walk-off three-run homer from Johnny Bench in the bottom of the ninth. They're looking to continue that momentum here in game number 2. Starters for game 2, two right-handers, Larry Christenson and Gary Nolan. So sorry about banging the table there. Let's see about getting this game underway. This is game 1 on this Sunday. Game 2 will post tonight in the American League Championship Series. It'll be the Yankees against the Royals, where the Yankees lead 1-0, so the Royals kind of need to win that game to even the series. In a best of 5, you don't want to go down 2-0. That's not insurmountable, but makes it very, very difficult, although they would have the next 3 games in Kansas City. You really don't want to go that route if you can avoid it. Hello, Brian B. How are you doing? Let me check the screen here on the computer and make sure everything is showing up the way I would hope it shows up. Hello, Robert. Good morning to everybody. Still drinking my Sunday morning coffee. Looks like everything fits in pretty well. Actually, I experimented this morning before I started. I thought about, instead of using this setup here, I thought about trying to incorporate this Riverfront Stadium field, but it just got to be too busy in there, so there was just not enough room to do it. I would love to have done it. It's made for History Maker. I can use it for Strat, but trying to put all these other things in there, it just got to be too busy. So I said, let me just go for what I know. Focus is off. All right, let's see if I can get the focus better here. I don't know. Could just be my lousy camera or phone, I should say. Let's see. Hopefully I think that's the best I'm going to be able to get it, RJL. When I go live like that, I can, it just doesn't give me the good quality like it does when I record. So I don't know. Still bad. Okay. Let's see if I can do anything about that. Looking through my thing here, it's as good as it can get. Make sure, RJL, that sometimes when I'm looking through my phone, it gives me like 360p or something. I got to change my setting to do 1080p. I don't know. I mean, it looks halfway decent. It looks just like yesterday did on mine. But, I'm not. Okay, that's good. All right, so we're good to there. Okay, sounds good to me. All right, so like I said, starting pitchers are Larry Christenson and Gary Nolan. Obviously, Johnny Bench kind of took over game 1 with 2 3-run homers, particularly the walk-off at the end. We got our Cincinnati red-colored dice. I did remember to get the charts this time, so I have it here. Hello, Brandon. How are you? Tabby is sitting on my laptop case, the little case the laptop comes in, on the floor. I got it for her. She kind of uses it as a little pillow, so hopefully that will keep her entertained and away from everything else. All right, so now we are ready to go. Game 2 of best of 5, remember. The 75 series were the best of 5. The 93 series are the best of 7, so even though Toronto took a 2-0 lead over the White Sox last night, Sox still have a chance, although they got to go to Toronto, which makes it a little bit harder, but hopefully not that hard. The biggest thing is not going to Toronto. The biggest thing is facing the Blue Jay lineup. That might be the biggest thing. All right, so Dave Cash is going to lead it off here against Gary Nolan. We get a 2-3. I'll get these backwards. Let me fix this. All right, 2-3, Gary Nolan. 2-3 is a strikeout chance. That's a 2. He's a 3. -1 from Stadium's a 2, but that still fits. So Cash, who doesn't strike out a lot, just struck out right there for out number 1. Hello, Tosconi. How are you doing? Never tried doing a live stream this early in the morning on a Sunday, so it's new territory for me, but we're giving it a go. See how it goes. Nolan, 6-2. That's a pitcher result. And that's a 15, so it's well out of range. It would have had to have been a 1 or a 2 to be an out, so it's well out of range. That means Larry Boa gets to hack away. 4-5, and he's got a split chance. Against the lefty, it would have been a double, but against the righty Nolan, it's just a fly to left, or fly to right, rather. So 2 down, put away out there by Griffey. 2 up and 2 down, and that brings up Michael Jack Schmidt. Yes, I am still doing the New York Yankee payoff pitch replay, but it's on hold right now while I get all this playoff stuff out of the way. Once the playoffs are done, then I'm going back. My only project at that point will be the payoff pitch Yankee replay, and I'll be on that full board. And then I may do something back with Stratomatic because I'm itching to get back to Stratomatic. I haven't done Stratomatic in so long. I'm itching to get back to super advanced Stratomatic. Not just Stratomatic, but super advanced Stratomatic. I just don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. Nolan, 4-5. That is a hit by pitch chance. He's a 4. -8, though, is going to clear that, so no hit by pitch. And Schmidt, 1-2. That's a fly to center, and that's going to end the inning. So Gary Nolan, a 1-2-3 inning. Takes care of the Phillies in short order, like a short order cook. And at the end of half an inning to play, it's the Phillies 0. And the Reds coming to bat. Larry Christenson, a right-hander, is on the bump for the Phillies. And Mr. Charlie Hustle, Pete Rose, was leading things off for the Reds. Now, I did not take the time to do the base running cheat sheet, so I'm just going to have to do it on the fly. But really, there's only a few situations that comes up, so I don't think it's going to be too tragic. All right, 1-1 against Rose, a switch hitter batting left. That's an automatic out. So that will be an out. And it's going to be a fly to center. So Pete Rose flies out to Maddox. 1 away. And that brings up Little Joe. Christenson, 6-1, range play. First range play of the game. Little Joe. 2-3, it's a star 1, which is a ground ball to short. Larry Boa. Checked Larry Boa's range. He is only a 2. I thought he had better range than that, but in 75, they're only rating him as a 2. So we'll go with it. I'm not going to question his rating. And he makes the play anyway with a 1. So Larry Boa says, I don't care if you give me a 2 range, I'm still going to make the play. The only one I do question is Geronimo getting a 4 range instead of a 5 range. I do kind of question that, but what are you going to do? All right, here's Johnny Bench. Yeah, Brandon, I'm sure he's excited about those Philadelphia Phillies getting a second opportunity. All Arizona is tough. I mean, they just rolled through the Dodgers, and Milwaukee, I think. So they're both teams are red hot. So it'll be very interesting to see who wins that. Christenson, 4-5, and that is a walk chance. That's a 9. He walks as a 13. Stadium even adds 1, so that will be a 2-out walk to Johnny Bench. Johnny Bench, 2-out walk. Actually, he has an attempt of 2. Actually, 1 with a -1 on Christenson. Attempt of 1, but nothing's happening. So Tony Perez steps to the plate after the 2-out walk. And Christenson, 5-2. That's a walk chance again. So back-to-back walks as Christenson all of a sudden can't find the strike zone. After the first 2 are out, he is having some issues. So, first and second, 2 down. And the big guy, George Foster, coming to the plate. Christenson has to be careful. Those free passes can come back to bite you. Strategy roll for a pickoff on Christenson, nothing. So here we go. Christenson to Foster, 6-5. That's a range play. The infield, there's 2 outs, so the infield is back, so they get their full range. 2-4. 2-4 is actually a single to center field, but Mr. Gary Maddox can have something to say about it, and he is accurately rated as a 5. So unless this is a 6, Maddox will take that hit away. And it's not. So Maddox will take care of that Foster would-be single and put an end to everything. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 2 left. At the end of one complete at Riverfront Stadium, or the stadium in front of the river, it is no score. Gary Nolan back out. Will be facing the Bull, Greg Luzinski. One five. That's a blank. We go to Luzinski's card. 3-5, and that's going to be a ground ball to Pete Rose at third. He'll make the play easily. One away. For Dick Allen, some say should be a Hall of Famer. He's definitely on the borderline. Gary Nolan, 5-5, possible error on a ground ball. Definitely in the Hall, very good if nothing else. 6-5 is a star 2, which is a fly to left. No ground ball error to worry about. Put away by Foster, 2 down. For Jay Johnstone. With the righty on the mound, they have Johnstone in the lineup as the right fielder. When the lefty's playing, they usually have Anderson in the lineup in a platoon situation. Although Johnstone is not penalized with 350 at-bats, he still has a cookie-cutter card, so you can still use him against lefties with no penalty. 1-5 is a blank. 6-3, single to right field for Jay Johnstone, a 2-out single for Mr. Johnstone. 2-out single, and let's see, Johnstone has an attempt of 2. And 20, chance for a balk on a 1 or a 2, or a pickoff on a 3. Anything else, nothing happens. That's a 12, so Johnstone gets back, no problems. And Gary Maddox, the batter. 3-6 is a blank. Boy, Nolan's got a lot of blanks on his card. Maddox, 2-1, star 4. That is a fly to right field. Griffey puts it away. Inning is over. No runs a hit, no errors, and a man left. At the end of 1.5, it's no score from Riverfront. Phillies and the Reds. Game 2. All right, Larry Christenson. And actually, I'm not a big fan of modern baseball, but the 2023 season is something I'll probably get, most likely in Strat. I don't know if I'll get it in Inside Pitch, but I'll get it in Strat probably, because intriguing with the Orioles making their comeback to be a good team, a playoff team, at the best record in baseball. And then you got the Texas Rangers, who had a big turnaround. So a lot of interesting, and the Yankees are crappy. So, it's a lot of interesting storylines in the 2023 season, even though I haven't fully followed it all that much. But with my, being able to go on the computer and look up on YouTube or MLB Network or whatever, you can watch some of the old games and during the off season, and I can catch up on some of that stuff as well. So a lot of good possibilities there for projects and whatnot. So probably get it in Strat, because I didn't buy Strat at all last year. So I'll probably, since it's been 2 years, I'll probably do the old combo routine with Strat, where you get the new computer game with the card imaging and the new cards with the extra players and all that stuff. So I'll probably do that most likely when that comes around in February or whatever it is. All right, so Larry Christenson will be facing Dave Concepcion, Ken Griffey, and Cesar Geronimo. 3-6, strikeout chance 12 is going to be too high for that, so Concepcion will swing. And some people think I'm crazy, but I think Concepcion should have strong consideration for HOF. 5-3, and that's a line out to third, 1 away. I know some of the shortstops that are already in there, Concepcion to me is better than them. So, just my opinion, but you can't. I have a hard time believing that Pee Wee Reese and Phil Rizzuto are better than Dave Concepcion. I just don't see it. I saw Concepcion play. I know what he can do. I know what his defense can do. And he wasn't a slouch as a hitter either, believe me. 5-6. That is the ballpark card going to Riverfront for the first time. 3-6. That's a star 1, which is a ground ball to Boa. And that's out number 2. So both pitchers seem to be on their game right now. And here's Geronimo. And again, that's the one rating. I think he ought to be a 5. To me, if he's not the equivalent of Gary Maddox, he's right next to Gary Maddox, and that should be he covers everything out there. So I think he should be a 5, but that's just my personal opinion. Maybe somehow the numbers that they use don't say that for that particular season, but I know what I saw. So, Larry Christenson, 3-4, strikeout chance 2, got him, innings over. But everybody has an opinion. That's the old beauty of the whole thing. No one necessarily right or wrong. Just it's an opinion. It's not fact. It's an opinion. So opinions are kind of hard to be wrong because they're not based on fact all the time. It's an opinion. That's why it's called an opinion, not a fact. All right, but it's good banter to debate about things like that. Okay, so Gary Nolan will start the top of the third against Johnny Oates. 3-6 is another blank. Boy, he's got all these blanks on the column 1 and column 1 especially, but then column 2 and column 3, he's got 2 blanks on those as well. So Oates, 2-5, is going to ground it to first. Perez will take it easily for out number 1. And that's going to bring up Christenson. Now, Christenson was a very good hitting pitcher. He had a couple home runs as well. He had 2 home runs. He hit 246. So, on his own grid, he's got a triple here and a double here. So, and on his power result, he's got a triple range up here as well. So, and another double there. So, he's no slouch. 5-4 is blank to a righty, so Christenson will get the bat. 1-2 is a ground ball to short, and Concepcion will handle it. 2 up and 2 down. The order will flip to Dave Cash. Nolan, 4-1. That's not tired, so there's no single there. 2-1, ground ball to Morgan at second, and another easy inning for Gary Nolan. 1, 2, 3. Down go the Phillies. Phillies through 3 innings have 1 hit, and that's Jay Johnstone's single, and that's been it. We go to the bottom of the third, still no score. And the pitcher, Gary Nolan, will be stepping to the plate to lead things off. 176 average for him. No power, though. Christenson, 2-3, and that's a blank to a right-hander. So we go to to Nolan. 5-1. He's got a straight-out strikeout on his grid, so that is a strikeout for Gary Nolan. Don't see that a lot, but you see it with pitchers and probably guys like Chris Davis, who back for the Orioles would strike out 200 times. You probably have some Ks there as well. Here's Pete Rose. 4-4, and that's a possible error. Go to Pete. That is a 2-1, which is a single past second base, but it's not going to be an error check. It's going to be a speed check on Pete Rose, and his run rating is a 3. So it's not going to be an error. It's going to be a single, but it changes in the rule book to that speed check. So it's not going to be if it's an error on a throw, then the single would hold up and you check the throwing error. But when it's a single with the error on a ground ball, then we go to the speed check, and he's a 3. So this has to be a 4 for him to be out. It's a 2, so Pete Rose beats it out. Infield hit. Infield hit for Pete Rose. First hit of the game for the Reds. Pete Rose had no stolen bases on the season, so no attempt there for him, but there is a pickoff chance for Christenson with a 20, and there is no 20, so nothing doing there. Infield is now halfway, one of the first times that's come up. Here's Joe Morgan. 2-4, that's a hit by pitch chance. He's a 3, but a -7 takes that away. Little Joe, 2-5, is a ground ball to first, possible double play, but not likely. He's a 1, but since it's hit to first, you don't get that boost of being halfway, so it stays a 1. The pivot is the shortstop, Larry Boa. He's a 0, so this has to be a 1 to be a double play. It's a 5, so no double play, but we will get the force on Pete. 3-6. for out number 2. But now Morgan, with 2 outs especially, is going to be looking to run. He's got an attempt of 5. Can't get the jump, so he will hold on. And Johnny Bench is up. And with 2 outs, the infield is now back to normal. Hello, Jeremy. How you doing? Christenson, 4-1 is a blank. Johnny Bench, 3-1, ground ball to first, an easy play for Dick Allen, and the inning is over. No runs, a hit, no errors, and a man left. We played 3 at Riverfront Stadium, and nothing's been decided. The only thing that's been decided is I need a new Sharpie. But zip to zip after 3 complete. And I am going to Walmart later today, so maybe I'll pick up a new Sharpie. They're not very expensive, obviously. Probably get them for a little over $1. So, although I am cheap. But not cheap, but frugal. So, Larry Boa steps to the plate. Boa, his first time up, flew to right field. Nolan, 5-5, possible error on a ground ball. Boa, 6-5, that's a single to third, same thing. It's a speed check. It's not going to be an error on a grounder. There's not going to be an error on Pete Rose. It's a speed check. That's a 4, so Boa trying to beat this out. He does not. It's a 5. He got him, so Pete Rose nips him for the first out of the inning. And RG, I'll just double check me, make sure I'm playing those right. I think that's the way you're supposed to do it. When it's a error on a ground ball check and it ends up being a single on the grid, it's a speed check against the runner, not an error. And so since the dice was higher than the BR of the runner, he is out. I'm pretty sure that's the way it's played. When you play several games, back and forth, replay, Stratomatic, History Maker, and all this, some of the rules sometimes can be a little fuzzy, but I'm trying to remember them as best I can. All right, here is Michael Jack Schmidt. Now, the only question I have on that speed check is if the dice matches the base running rating, is he out or safe? I guess the dice, if it's the same, I guess he beats it out. I'd have to look at the chart and find out for sure, but off the top of my head, I'm not sure if that's correct or not. If the dice roll equals his speed, he may beat that out. I think the dice roll has to beat the speed. Equal to or lower, you save. Okay, that's what I thought. All right, 2-5 for Nolan is a walk chance. That's a 6, and he will Schmidt definitely will walk. He walks quite a bit. That high walk number totals there. He's got so a 1-out walk to Michael Jack Schmidt. Infield now halfway. Nolan 0 on the check for holding, so it's a 5 attempt rating for Schmidt. That's a 6. That could open up a hit and run, but with Greg Luzinski, I don't want to take his power away. So we're not going to hit and run. We're going to call that off and go with the bull. Nolan, 5-1, and right off the bat, home run question mark. 1-6, but that fails. Good thing, because that would have been a guaranteed home run, but Nolan got away with one there. Luzinski will swing 3-1. He lines it right to first, and it could be a double play with the runner at first base already. Looking at the chart, with the runner on first, and it's lined to first, a 1-4, and it's a double play. So unless we get a 5 or 6, Schmidt will be doubled off. And he is doubled off. So a line drive double play ends the inning. Schmidt caught in no man's land. Perez snagged it and just steps on the bag for the double play. 3 unassisted double play to end the inning. Hit it hard, but right at him, the old atom ball, as they say. And we go to the bottom of the 4th, still no score. For the Phillies, no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. Bottom of the 4th, and it'll be Tony Perez, who just made that play, will lead off. That happens quite a bit. Someone makes a nice defensive play, and he leads off the next inning. Perez walked his first time up. Christenson, 3-6, strikeout chance. This time he will strike out as Perez with the whiff. 1 away for George Foster, Australian for a home run. Christenson, 4-4. That's a possible error. Foster, 1-4. It's a fly to center. That's a 16. Gary Maddox's error rating is only a 5, so Maddox will make that play very easily. And Foster, for the second time, has flown to center field for out number 2. Brings up Mr. Concepcion. 4-3 is a blank on Christenson's card. Go to Concepcion. 5-6, fly to center. Maddox will put that away as well. 3 up and 3 down go the Reds. And the offenses are a little dormant. Maybe they're still sleepy on a Sunday morning. I don't know. No score after 4. And boy, college football can be really, really interesting how one team can be so up one week and down the next week. Last week, Louisville upsets Notre Dame. Then this week, Notre Dame goes out and crushes USC, and Louisville lays an egg at a very bad Pittsburgh team. Just can't, sometimes it's hard to figure that stuff out. The only thing you can figure out is that Deion Sanders' Colorado team will blow a big lead in the end and lose. That's death taxes, and a loss by Colorado football is pretty much guaranteed. Not sure how long. The Deion experiment will probably last about 2 years, and they'll probably get tired of him and move on. Just my opinion. Not a fan, as you can tell. 6-5, range play at the ballpark. Riverfront Stadium, 3-1's a fly to left. It's a range play for George Foster. Foster is actually a 5. He's rated higher in the range than Geronimo is. So he's rated as a 5. So unless we get a 6, he's out. And he is out. So put away out there by Foster. 1 away. That'll bring up Jay Johnstone. 5-3. That is a walk chance. 2 will walk him. So Jay Johnstone draws the 1-out walk. He is aboard. He's reached base twice, a single and now a walk. His attempt is a 2. Nothing happening. So here comes Gary Maddox. The infield is now halfway for the double play. 1-3, a strikeout chance. 10 will not get him. Maddox will get to swing. 3-5, that's a single to right field for Maddox. Single to right field. Griffey, I believe Griffey has a 0 arm. First to third, you add 2 to the run rating of the runner at first. Johnstone is a 3, so you add 2, makes it a 5. So 1-5, he will make it. 6, that means somebody might be out. 0 arm, so on a 0 arm, it is a 1-3 to go to that extra roll. 4-6, he will hold at second base. He will hold at second base. So he puts on the brakes pretty quickly as Griffey got to the ball and got it quicker than what he anticipated. And now first and second with 1 out for Johnny Oates. First and second, 1 out, no score, top of the 5th. Strategy roll. Nothing happening. Nolan to Oates, 4-1. He's not tired, so there's no single there. Whoop, the red die didn't make it through. Let's re-roll that. That was Suedice. 6-5, single to left field for Johnny Oates. How about that? Now, Foster's got a good arm. Foster is a -1 arm. Johnstone runs as a 3. So that knocks him down to a 2. Score from second on a single to left. You add 1, makes it a 3. So 1-3, and Johnstone will score and score the first run of the game. He will not. He's got a hold. So bases are now loaded. So 2 good outfield plays by the Reds keep the Phillies off the scoreboard so far. But the bases are loaded on a walk and back-to-back singles. Does bring up the pitcher Christenson, but he's not an ordinary pitcher. He's a good hitter. Those 2 home runs do stand out. Strategy roll, check for a balk or a pickoff, and nothing's happening. We're not going to have a squeeze bunt, so we're not doing that. Nolan, 4-4 is a range play. Christenson will swing. 6-6, that's a single to left for Christenson. How about that? He gets the base hit. Helps his own cause. Johnstone will score. Maddox gets the +2 from being on second base. He runs at a 4. That +2 makes him a 6, but the -1 from Foster is a 5. So 1-5, and Maddox will score. He does, and since it's a 1, it's a chance for Johnny Oates to move up. Johnny Oates only runs at a 2, though. And he will move up. How about that? Christenson also runs at a 2, so I believe, RJL, correct me if I'm wrong on this. Was it a range play? Did I screw that up? It was a range play, wasn't it, Brian B? It was a range play. Thank you. I got confused there. So it is a range play, and it's a single to left, so that's a pretty good chance that George Foster's going to make this play. 1-5, he makes the play. He does. That's out number 2, but is it a sacrifice fly? Thank you for catching that, Brian B. I missed that. So thank you for keeping track of that. So that's out number 2. Runner on third is Johnstone, and his run rating is a 3, but the arm of Foster is a -1, so a 1-2 because he has no sacrifice on his own. So 1-2, he will score. He does. So it is a sacrifice fly. Johnstone does come in to score on the sacrifice fly by Christenson. So it is 1-0 Phillies on the sac fly. Christenson helping his own cause. Foster keeping it from being worse. That single would have scored probably 2 runs, but since he had the great range, he took it away. So thank you guys for correcting me on that, keeping me straight on that particular episode. All right, here's Dave Cash. Infield is now back to normal with 2 outs. Nolan, 2-3, strikeout chance 10 is too high. Cash doesn't strike out much. Cash 5-3, and that's a fly to center to end the inning as Geronimo puts it away. So the Phillies get a run, break through on the scoreboard. They do a run on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left. So we go to the bottom of the 5th. It is Phillies 1, Reds nothing. Well, at least I know you guys are paying attention, so that helps too. I appreciate you guys being a second set of eyes for me and making sure I'm not forgetting to check certain things. All right. Ken Griffey will lead things off for the Reds against Christensen. It's Griffey, Geronimo, and the pitcher Nolan. 5-5, and the automatic out against the lefty, so the automatic out will be a ground ball to Schmidt, 1 away. So 1 down for Geronimo. Six, that's a possible error on a throw, if a throw is needed. 6-3, and that is a single to first base against a right-hander. So that means Dick Allen, let's see, I don't know if there would be a throw, though, because he's going to get the single. He's not trying to get him out at first. So to me, there is no throw check on that because no one's on base. There has to be runners on base to be a throw check, in my opinion. Hello, Tim. How are you doing? So check me out on that RJL. It's an ET, error on throw, but it's an S3 with the bases empty. So to me, it's just a single, and that's the size of it. Nobody's trying to get an extra base or go anywhere else. So to me, it's just a single. So that's the way I'm going to play it. All right, strategy roll 2 for Geronimo to get the jump. He cannot. So Geronimo will stand fast. There is already 1 out, so do you bunt with the pitcher with 1 out is the question. Or do you let him swing away? Infield is halfway. He's not a very good, well, 2 for a bunt rating. The 2 for the bunt rating. Not very, it's below average. Brian B says bunt. Okay, well, we're going to bunt then. So they're going to bunt. First of all, Christensen has to throw the pitch. See if there's a strikeout or something. 6-2, and there is a possible strikeout. 17, he will strike out. Wait a minute. I think the bunt takes the strikeouts down to half, does it not? Let's check this out again. I don't. You can tell I don't bunt much. Let's see here. I'm thinking bunt. I know it's on here somewhere. That says when you bunt, you take the strikeouts down, but I can't find it in front of me. K is halved on bunts. Okay, thank you. So that means he will not strike out because it drops it to a 15, but that's a 17. So no strikeout, so he will get the bunt down. And when the Phillies not expecting it, they're playing back. for the double play. So he gets his full complement of a 2 bunting rating. And that's a 4, so that's going to be a good bunt, I do believe. Yes, it will be. And the 1 says it's going back to the pitcher, so it will be a successful sacrifice back to the pitcher, Christenson. It's going to go 1-4 if you're scoring at home, as the second baseman Cash came over to cover second. Geronimo will take second base, gets into scoring position with 2 outs for Pete Rose. So Nolan helping his cause, but now it's going to come up to need a 2-out single from Pete Rose. Nothing on strategy. Christenson to Rose. 3-6 strikeout chance, but that's too high. Rose will swing it. 4-5, and that is a single past second base. So the strategy to bunt, Brian B's strategy to bunt might pay off. S4 to score from second. All he needs a 2 or better. Geronimo's a 4, so he will score. And we have a tie ball game. Pete Rose comes through with the RBI single in the clutch, and Geronimo will score to tie the game at a run apiece. So nice strategy there by Brian B, calling for the bunt. All right, Pete Rose, like I said, did not steal, so he has no steal attempt, but there is a pickoff attempt for Christenson. But there's no 20, so nothing going on there. So Joe Morgan will swing. Christenson 1-2 strikeout chance, but 20 is way too high for that. That is a smart thing to look at there, Brian B, about that double play. 5-1's a single pass short for Morgan. But I don't think Pete Rose is going to have the speed to get to third. He needs a 5 or better, even with 2 outs. He's only a 3. The 2 outs makes him a 4, so Pete Rose will have to hold at second base on that single pass to shortstop. So 2-out rally here by the Reds now has first and second for Johnny Bench. And he's hit 2 3-run homers in game 1. He's got a chance for another 3-run homer right here. Got those 2 base runners on base that he likes. Strategy roll for a pickoff. Nothing happening. Christenson to Bench. 3-4. That is a strikeout chance. 7 got him. So Bench out on strikes. Mr. Krylon, no runs, no drips, no errors, strikes out to end the inning. But the Reds do tie the score playing small ball. They do it on 3 hits, no errors, and 2 left. So at the end of 5 complete at Riverfront, we are tied at a run apiece. And I'll start checking fatigue for pitchers here shortly. Although Nolan can face 27, he's only faced 19, so he's definitely in good shape. Larry Boa will lead things off. Hello, Dwayne. How are you doing? Larry Boa will lead things off in the top of the 6th, tied at 1. 6-3, strikeout chance too high. Larry Boa doesn't strike out much. 5-6 is a pop-up right to Gary Nolan. You don't see that happen very often, but he's got that P1 right on his card. So Boa must have done it at least a little bit. And that's 1 away for Mike Schmidt. 6-1 blank for Nolan. Another one of those blanks on his card. Schmidt, 5-6. He's going to fly to left, and Foster puts it away. 2 up and 2 down for the Bull, Greg Luzinski. 4-6, and that's a blank to a right-hander, so go to Luzinski's card. 6-1, power result to left field. It goes to 14 versus a right-hander, but that's a 20, so it's a deep fly to left, but Foster on the track will make the catch to retire the side. So for the Phillies, a loud third out, but nothing comes of it. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Still 1-1. Christenson can face 25 batters. He has faced 21, so got to keep an eye on him. He's getting closer to his fatigue check, so we'll keep an eye on him. I don't want to overlook that. He's faced 21 batters, can face 25, so Griffey is his 25th. When he gets to Geronimo, he'll be tired. Christenson, 2-2, blank to a righty, so Perez will hit. 6-4, Power result to right field against a right-hander goes to 10. That's a 20, though, so it's a deep fly to right. Johnstone will put it away. That evil D20 keeps coming up as a 20. And there's one away. Whoops, wrong team here. Let's get the right team out here. George Foster. It's not an intra-squad game. Here's Foster. He's 0 for 2. He's flown to center twice. 1-3 is a range play at the ballpark. Riverfront Stadium. 6-3 is a ground ball to first. Range check of Dick Allen. Dick Allen's range is a 3. So 1-3, he'll make the play. 4 or higher, it's a base hit. It's a 3. He will make the play and flip to Christenson covering. It's going to go 3-1 for out number 2. So 2 down for Concepcion. 6-6, possible error on the throw. 4-4, it's a ground ball to first, so we're checking Dick Allen's error chance this time. We checked his range last time. His error rating is a 14. He's got to flip to Christenson and try to avoid an error. It is a 14. It will be an error, so he's going to misplay that ball. The range of Christenson is a 1 for his throw. Let's see if he can catch it. He cannot. So let's see. Can Concepcion make it to second base? He does not. He stays at first base. So E3. First error of the game, I believe. And it's on Dick Allen. So 2 down. Concepcion with an attempt of 4 to steal. Cannot get it done. Bring up Griffey. 6-5, range play. A lot of range plays coming up. Griffey, 1-4, single to second, but it's a range check on Cash. And we go to Cash. Dave Cash's range is a 3. So average range, 1-3, he'll get it. He does. And that's the end of the inning. He'll just throw it to first to take care of Griffey. So no runs, no hits, 1 error, and 1 left. 6 innings are in the books, and we're still tied at 1. Nip and tuck in this one, just like game 1 was. Not a whole lot of difference. It's nip and tuck both ways. And Dick Allen, who was heavily involved in that last half inning, will lead off for the Phillies. He's flown to George Foster twice. 3-5, and that's a blank, so we go to Dick Allen. 4-4, star 3, which is a fly to center. So this time he tries Geronimo. Says Geronimo's only got a 4 range instead of a 5 range. So I'll try him, but it didn't work either. And that's 1 away. Here's Johnstone. He is Mr. Cookie Cutter. He is 2 for 2 against Gary Nolan. 1-6, strikeout chance, 11 too high. Go to Johnstone, 6-4. He will fly to right field. Griffey puts it away, 2 up and 2 down for Gary Maddox. 5-6, range play. We go to Maddox's card. 4-2 is a star 6. Ground ball to short. We're checking the range of Concepcion. And Concepcion's range is a 4, above average, obviously. 1-4, he makes the play. He does not. It's going to be a base hit for Gary Maddox. So Maddox beats out the infield hit as Concepcion not able to get to it. Maddox is now 2 for 2. His attempt is a 5. 13, he will stand pat. So here is Johnny Oates. Nolan to Oates, 6-1, blank again. Another one of those blanks on Nolan's card. Oates, 6-3, single pass second. Maddox runs it a 4, so he will take third base easily on that. So runners are at the corners. And now you've got that National League decision to make. You don't have to do this in the American League. But the pitcher spot is coming up, but he's pitching very well. He's actually a decent hitter as well on top of all of that. But you sure could use that go-ahead run and turn it to your good bullpen. Boy, what do you do if you're the Phillies? Let's look at their bench, who they have that's left-handed. You got a couple of good lefties up there. You got Tim McCarver and Tommy Hutton. They're going, well, let's see. Yep, they're going to go to Tim McCarver and pinch hit. When you're down a game, you got to play it almost like Game 7. So they don't want to go down 2-0 in a 5-game series. So they will be making the pinch hitting call to Tim McCarver. He will pinch hit in a big spot with 2 outs in the bottom or top of the 7th, rather. So Tim McCarver will get the pinch hitting call. Check strategy roll on Nolan. Nothing happening. 2 outs. And Nolan can face this is batter number 27 for Nolan as well. So he will be tired after this, but he's not tired at this moment. This is batter number 27. Nolan with the pitch to McCarver. 6-2, double question mark pitcher result, 1-2 against the lefty, but that fails. So McCarver will get a chance to swing. 5-2, and he's going to single pass first base. So the Philly manager making the right call on the pinch hitting. Maddox will score. Oates is a 2, so I don't think even with 2 outs he can make it to third. Actually, he can. So it's going to be runners at the corners once again. Tim McCarver comes through with the base hit. And Gary Nolan's now tired. So Sparky's going to have to go to the pen. Phillies, I don't know if they're going to go to a pinch runner or not. I don't know if you want to waste a batter. They're going to leave McCarver at first base. Even though he runs at a 2, you're not run on first unless you get a double or something. You're not going to really. It's going to be a wasted player if you do that. So McCarver comes through. Gary Nolan is scheduled to bat second next inning, so he could have that dreaded double switch. But who would you take out if you're the Reds? Last man to bat was Griffey. So you could take Griffey out. He's not the best of fielders, so wouldn't be missing a whole lot. So they will pull the double switch. They will go to Pedro Borbon out of the bullpen. He will come on in place of Gary Nolan, but now we need a new right fielder. So this is now the pitcher spot right here. And this is the new right fielder spot. So who's going to come in and play right field? It looks like probably Merv Redmond. Let's check it. Could use Dreesen maybe. Although I think he was just first base. I don't know if he played the outfield. He did, but he's terrible. So Crowley would not be good either. Merv Redmond is your guy that's going to come in and play right field. At least he's a 3. So Redmond is going to be the new right fielder and bat in the number 9 position. As Sparky's doing some maneuvering here with the double switch. So Redmond will bat in the 9 position right after Geronimo, and Griffey has exited the ball game. And Pedro Borbon will be on the mound for the Reds to try to keep the score at 2-1. And he's going to be facing Dave Cash. Who do I have as a pinch runner? Not much. I mean, they've got Terry Harmon or Mike Anderson's a 3. Terry Harmon is a 3. Jerry Martin's a 4, but I really don't want to use up Jerry Martin. I can use him for defense if I have to late in the game to replace Luzinski. So I really don't want to use him up in that kind of role. So we're going to go ahead and stick with McCarver at first base. It'll be first world problems if we have to worry about him trying to score. That would mean he would score and there'd be 2 runs already in. So we're just going to go ahead and play it that way. No problem, Tascuni. No problem. All right, so Borbon will now pitch to Cash. And I keep having these backwards because I'm so used to playing replay baseball where the batter is first. So strategy roll for Borbon. Nothing happening. Borbon to Cash, 3-3, and that's a straight-out single off of Borbon right there, that S1 on the 3-3. That's a base hit. So Borbon gives up the RBI single to Cash. That'll score the runner. Now McCarver is a 2. With 2 outs, becomes a 3. On an S1, he cannot make third base. He needs a 4 or better to make third base. So he's at second base, but a base hit by Cash, and the Phillies now lead it 3-1 as Oates comes in to score. McCarver stops at second. So Bourbon gives up the inherited run. Sparky not happy about that. Strategy roll, nothing happening. Here's Boa. Bourbon 1-6 is a blank. We go to Boa. 4-1, and against a right-hander, it's a fly to center. It would have been a triple against a lefty, but against a righty, it's just a fly to center to end the inning. But the Phillies strike for 2 here in the top of the 7th to take a 3-1 lead. They do it on 4 base hits. There were no errors and 2 left. Close the book on Nolan now. Nolan pitches 6 2/3. He has given up 6 hits, 3 runs, all earned. And let's see, he walked. How many did he walk? He walked 1, 2. He walked 2, struck out not that many. 1. That's gone for 1. He struck out Cash to start the game, and that's been it. So nothing there. All right, 7th inning stretch time is upon us. With the score 3-1 Phils. And we need a new pitcher for the Phillies because we pinch hit for Christenson, so we can close the book on Christenson. He went 6 innings, gave up 4 hits and a run. And let's see, he walked 2, and he struck out 2, 3, struck out 4. So the line on Christenson, 6 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. So now we will need a new pitcher. And let's see who they want to go to out of the pen. Coming up for the Reds, it'll be Geronimo and then Redmond and Rose. So you got lefty, righty, switch. So at this point, it probably doesn't matter. You can go with whoever you think is better, or best, I should say. And since Garber gave up the 3-run homer in his only pitch in the game, in Game 1, they're going to give him a chance to redeem himself. So Gene Garber is going to come on and try to redeem himself against these Reds and make up for what happened against Johnny Bench. So here is Geronimo. Ryan, why do you think Bourbon is so bad in inside pitch? I mean, his card is pretty good. If you look at his card, I mean, his season was 9-5, 5 saves, and a 2.95 ERA. That's pretty good pitching to me. I'm not sure why inside pitch treats him so poorly, but just one of those things, I guess. All right, bottom of the 7th inning stretch is over. I never really stretched. I'm going to keep going. But Geronimo will lead it off against Garber. 2-5, strikeout chance 4, got him. So Geronimo out on strikes. 1 away for Merv Retman. Garber 4-4, range play. We go to Retman's card for the range check. 3-4, and that is a pop-up to third. We're checking the range of Michael Jack Schmidt, who just happens to be a 5. So if anything other than 6, he will make the catch. And he does, and he needed all that 5 range to make that play. But he does. 2 up and 2 down, back to the top of the order in Pete Rose. Garber, of course, this is a matchup from 1978 where he would stop Pete Rose's hitting streak while he was with the Atlanta Braves. Garber was on the mound when Rose made that out in his last time at bat to break up that winning streak. Or not winning streak, hitting streak. Garber, 1-1 ballpark, going to Riverfront Stadium for Pete. 1-3, it's a rare play. Why not have a rare play? You hadn't had one yet, might as well. Bases empty, rare play with 2 outs and nobody on. Get a 32. 32 says, grounder to second base who throws in the dirt, making the first baseman scoop the ball. Resolve using a range play check for first base to see if he scoops the ball. All right, so might be an error, might not. We're checking the range of Dick Allen, who is a 3. So 1-3, and he will make the play. And let's see, does that get putting that chart in there make things fuzzy again? Might have. Let's fix that right now. All right, so it's a range check 1 to 3. It's a 6, so it will be an error E4 on Cash as he was not able to scoop that ball. So Rose is going to reach on the E4. Second error of the game on the Phillies. They've had 2 errors now. And it keeps the inning going for Joe Morgan. He cannot steal. There's no balker to pick off, so no need to use a strategy roll on this particular play. Let's go straight to Joe Morgan with 2 outs. Garber. 2-6 is a blank. We go to Morgan's card. 1-5, and that's a fly to right to end the inning, put away by Johnstone. Inning is over for the Reds. No runs on no hits, 1 error and 1 left. We go to the 8th inning. It's still 3-1 favor of the Phillies. It'll be Mike Schmidt to lead off against Bourbon to start the top of the 8th. Schmidt is 0 for 2 with a walk in this game. Bourbon trying to hold the fort. 4-4. Oh, goodness. Home run question mark. 1 to 11, but that fails. Good thing, because that would have been a home run for Schmidt. But so he got lucky. And Sparky's not too happy. He's got bullpen action right behind him. Will McEnany is warming up very quickly behind him. So is Clay Carroll. So it failed there, so we go to Schmidt. 1-3, and it's still going to be a double to right field on the split chance. It's a double to left field, rather, not right field. So Mike Schmidt on the left-right split against a righty. He doubles to left field. So leadoff double for Mr. Schmidt. And Bourbon in serious trouble. Here is Luzinski. What do you think, Brian B? Do you want to pull him and bring in somebody else, Carroll or somebody? Don't really want to bring in Eastwick. He's the closer, but could bring in Carroll, I guess, if you really wanted to. Or I can stick with Bourbon and give him a chance, because I did come off Schmidt's card, not his own. So if you want me to pull him, I'll pull him. If you want me to keep him, I'll keep him. Go to Carroll. Okay, you got it. Let's see where the pitcher spot's coming up here. We got bench Perez Foster. Pitcher will bat 5th, so there's really not a whole lot of people to double switch with. So I think we're going to do a straight exchange here. So Clay Carroll will be coming on to try to keep the score where it is and rescue Mr. Bourbon, who definitely had his issues. Pedro Bourbon is going to go 1/3 of an inning. He's going to give up 2 hits, no runs, but the runner on base is his responsibility. No walks or strikeouts. And now Clay Carroll is on to face the Bull. No strategy roll needed. He's got a 1 attempt, but a -1 takes that away, and there's nothing there for the box. So Carroll, 3-6, blank. We go to Luzinski. 4-5 for Luzinski. It's a fly to right field, out number 1. But the runner, Schmidt, could move up. He's a 3. The right fielder, Retman, his arm is a -1, makes it a 2. And then from right field to second base, you lose another one, makes it a 1. So on a 1, he can advance. He does not. He's got a hold. So Luzinski not hitting it deep enough. Schmidt can't go anywhere. 1 away for Dick Allen. Again, no need for any strategy roll. Carroll, 6-1, blank again. Dick Allen, 1-2, pops it to short, out number 2. 2 down, and it's up to Johnstone. Now Johnstone singled, walked, and flew to right. Maddox is on deck, who's 2 for 3. So do you walk Mr. Cookie Cutter and pitch to Maddox, Brian, or do you want me to go ahead and pitch to Mr. Cookie Cutter? It's up to you. Maddox's card here is he was a 272 hitter. He's a 329 hitter. First base is open with 2 outs. So we're going to give the intentional walk to Mr. Cookie Cutter, and it'll be up to Gary Maddox to increase the lead or keep the score where it is. He is 2 for 3 with 2 singles and a run scored. So let's see what happens here with 2 outs. Carroll to Maddox. 1-4. That's a home run question mark. And a 1-7. That fits. That fits. But Maddox needs a 4. 4 for a 3-run homer. 4 or less. Anything over that, we go to his card to complete the at bat. But a 1-4, we got a 3-run homer. We got a 1. That's a 3-run homer, and Brian B is already claiming rigged. A 3-run shot for Gary Maddox. He says, go ahead, walk the guy in front of me. 3-run home run, Gary Maddox. He does more than field. 3-run homer for Maddox. It is now 6-1 Phillies. And Clay Carroll is looking dejected. Maddox is not going to, he's a classy guy. He's not going to taunt anybody. He's just rounding the bases, much like Mickey Mantle did, with his head down, and just says, just thinking to himself, go ahead and walk me. Carroll, 1-6, blank to Oates. We go to Oates. 6-3, single pass second, so the hit parade continues. And now we got the pitcher spot, Garber. And Garber will be lifted for a pinch hitter. And they're going to go to Tommy E.F. Hutton. He will get the pinch hitting call as the only other lefty on the bench. So Tommy Hutton it is to pinch hit here in the 8th inning. When McCarver pinch hit, he singled. So let's see if he can do the same. Strategy rolls are off. Carroll to Hutton. 6-2 is a blank. Hutton, 6-5. Single to right field for Hutton. And let's see, Oates runs at a 2 with 2 outs becomes a 3. Single to right, you add 2 more. That is a 5. -1 from Retman is a 4. So 1-4, he makes it to third base. And he does. So runners are at the corners. And now Carroll in deep trouble. 2 pinch hit singles in the game for the Phillies as Hutton does his job. Brings up Dave Cash. Carroll to Cash. 5-3 is a walk chance. 13 too much. We go to Cash. 1-6 power result to right field. It goes to 13, but that's a 17. So Retman makes the play in right field to end the inning. But a profitable one for the Phillies. They pick up 3 runs and take a 6-1 lead over the Reds. For the Phillies in the inning, 3 runs on 4 hits. The big 3-run homer from Maddox, the big blow. No errors and 2 left. So we go to the bottom of the 8th. And we will get a new pitcher for the Phillies. And that's all for Clay Carroll as well. He's done. So the Phillies will turn to, let's see who's coming up. Bench is coming up. Looks like with a 6-1 lead, they will go to Ron Schuler out of the bullpen. They've got Tug McGraw in their back pocket, but with a 6-1 lead, they're not going to use him just yet. If Schuler gets into trouble, you will see Tug McGraw. Right now, Johnny Bench is up. And Bench is 0 for 2 in the game, so the Reds have their work cut out for him. Schuler, 3-2, range play. We go to Johnny Bench for a range check. 2-3, star 2. That is a ground ball to second. Dave Cash. Cash's range is a 3. So 1-3, he makes the play. He does, and Bench is retired 4-3. 4 out, number 1. Here is Tony Perez. Schuler, 2-4. Hit by pitch, but 15 is too much. No hit by pitch. Here is a 1-1, and that is a single past second base for Tony Perez. You're saying E-G and not a range play? What was I looking at here? Did I roll 3-2 and look and called it a range play? Is that what I did? For Bench's at bat? It went to, who did it go to? Cash, right? Cash's range or error rating is a 6. So let me go back and do this again. It's 16, so he makes the play anyway because there's no, his E rating is a 6, so it was not an error on a ground ball. So Cash did the range and the error check both. So, but thank you for catching that for me anyway, because I like to be correct on these things. I don't want to make mistakes. So infield is halfway now. After the Perez single, it'll bring up George Foster. Not Johnny Bench. Put him back where he belongs. It's George Foster. All right, so Foster, the batter. Again, strategy rules are off. Schuler, 4-6, strikeout chance, 17, too high. Go to Foster, 5-3, and that's a fly to center field for out number 2 as Maddox puts it away. 2 down, and that'll bring up Concepcion. And the pitcher spot is on deck, so looks like Dan Dreesen has picked up a bat. 3-6 is a walk. I'm sorry, the blank to a righty. Concepcion, 3-6 again. He will fly to center to end the inning. So nothing doing there for the Reds. No runs, a hit, no errors, and nobody left. Or 1 left, rather. So 8 complete in the books. It's still 6-1. Favor of the Phillies. Coming up for the Phillies will be Boa, Schmidt, and Luzinski. Would like to use McEnany in one of these games, but I don't think you want to bring him in against all these power right-handed hitters. So I think what they're going to do here, let's see, they could come back with Clay Carroll. Let's see how many batters Carroll faced, actually. Let's see. 5, 6, 7. No, he's actually faced 8 batters, so he's now tired. So he won't go to Carroll. Probably go to Eastwick. I mean, they're not going to get a save situation, so you might as well use Eastwick. Might as well use the best you have to keep the game close. So they're going with Eastwick. I would like to use McEnany, like I said, but he's a lefty, and they got these tough righties coming up, so wouldn't really make sense to do that. And Tug McGraw will be coming in for the Phillies in the 9th, regardless, because he needs work. So Larry Boa will lead things off. 4-1, strikeout chance 16 is too high. Just not going to strike out Boa very much. 6-5, that's a single past third, so Larry Boa puts it right past Pete Rose for a leadoff single. Now the infield's halfway for Michael Jack Schmidt. And again, strategy rolls are off. 3-4, that's a walk chance. That's a 3. He will walk him. So now first and second, nobody out. And now Eastwick having issues. Maybe in a non-save situation, he doesn't concentrate as much. I don't know. That brings up the bull, Greg Luzinski. 5-5. He's not tired, so there's no single there. Go to the bull. 1-1 fly to center field. That is out number 1. Bowler runs at a 4, but Geronimo's a -1 arm, makes him a 3. Fly to center, you lose 2, makes it a 1. So this would have to be a 1 for him to move up. And it's not, so he's going to hold. Whoops. So he will hold, and that'll bring up Dick Allen. Dick Allen, the batter. Eastwick, 3-5. That's a possible error on a ground ball. Allen, 6-5. Star 2 is a grounder to short. That's a 1. So that's going to be an error on Concepcion. He will boot that, and the bases are loaded. Reds just losing all concentration here. First error on the Reds. But now the bases are loaded for Jay Johnstone. And that's going to be it for Eastwick. He's going to come out, and they're going to bring in Will McEnany. Try to get out of the mess. Against Mr. Cookie Cutter. But they might pinch hit for Mr. Cookie Cutter because his defense is horrible. And so playing it the way I think the Phillies ought to play it. They will go to a pinch hitter, and that pinch hitter is Jerry Martin. And Martin will stay in the game. Well, actually, Martin will stay. No, sorry. Martin's going to be needed to play for Luzinski. My bad. It's not going to be Martin. It's going to be downtown Ollie Brown. That's who they're going to bring on. Downtown Ollie Brown will pinch hit. And then Anderson will go in and play right field. So Anderson will take over in right field for John Stone. And in left field for Luzinski, they will bring in Jerry Martin defensively in the ninth. So those will be those changes there. All right. But right now it is downtown Ollie Brown against McEnany. Bases are loaded, one out. They're going to bring the infield in. They just can't afford to give up any more runs. And Brown does not have a good double play rating. So McEnany to pitch. 3-2, possible error on a throw. Ollie Brown, 2-4. Ground ball to third. That's to Rose. Rose's error rating at third base, unfortunately for the Reds, is a 7, and that is a 7. That's an ET. Error on a throw. He was throwing home, so he makes the error on a throw. So we're going to check the receivership of Johnny Bench. He's a 5, so as long as it's not a 6, it won't get by him. It does get by him. Now, can the runner on second come around to score? Runner on second is Schmidt, who runs at a 3. He cannot, so he's got to hold up. So just one run's going to score on that. That is an E5 on Pete Rose. So back-to-back errors by the Reds, and they have just totally collapsed. It's now 7-1. Bases are still loaded, but they're just falling apart. Sparky's not too happy about it. So now pinch running for Ollie Brown will be the new right fielder, Mike Anderson. And as we said, we will have Jerry Martin play left field in place of Luzinski in the bottom of the ninth. He's a much better fielder. And coming to bat now is Gary Maddox. You're not going to take him out. Bases remain loaded with one out. Infield still in. McEnany, 3-1, blank to a right-handed hitter. Go to Maddox. 1-1, star 5 is a ground ball to third. Chance for a double play. The runner at third base is Schmidt, who's a 3. Infield in makes him a 1. Double play rating of Maddox is a 1. There's no pivot for the catcher, obviously. So I'm thinking it's just a 1 here to be a double play. Oh, no, actually, we're going to go home, and I think it goes to the base runner to check for, or that could be replay. I'm getting the games mixed up, so let me check my chart. Let's check the chart here. Infield double play chances home to first, no second to first. Defense can choose automatic out at first or try double play. Well, obviously, I'm trying for the double play. Let's see here. A 1 is a double play. Okay, that's what I thought. 1 is a double play, but at worst case scenario, unless we roll a 6, it looks like they're going to get the lead guy. And we roll a 6. Do you believe that? The run will score. The runner's out at first. That doesn't even make any sense. Why would you go to first when you know you have to get the guy at the plate? But that's the rule. You roll a 6, it's runner advance automatically. I don't make the rules. I just try to play by them. So that's out number 2. It's going to go 5-3 on the put out. Schmidt will score. Allen will take third. And Brown will take second. Now they're 2 away. All right. So Maddox gets the RBI ground out. That brings up Johnny Oates. But Oates will be called back, and we will get Bob Boone to pinch hit. Get Bob Boone an opportunity to begin the game. So Bob Boone will pinch hit and stay in the game to catch. And if the pitcher spot does come up, they still have Terry Harmon on the bench as a pinch hitter. So then that would get all their guys in the game on this blowout game. So here's Bob Boone. McEnany, 4-5. That's a blank to a righty. Boone, 3-1, flies to center, and the inning is over mercifully. A messy ninth inning with 2 errors in there. 2 runs on just 1 hit, but there were 2 errors, and they leave 2 on. So we go to the 9th. Not much chance for ninth inning magic here when the score is 8-1. Favor of the Phillies. And they would not normally bring in Tug McGraw because it's not a safe situation, but he did not pitch in game 1, and they're going to have an off day for travel tomorrow, so they got to get him some work. So they're going to bring in Tug McGraw to pitch, to try to close this out, even the series, and take it back to Philadelphia. So Cesar Geronimo is your leadoff hitter for the Reds. Actually, no, it's Ken Griffey is the leadoff hitter. My bad. It's actually the pitcher spot. That's why I got to keep track of that. That's why Griffey wasn't there. It's the pitcher spot. So they'll pinch hit for McEnany, and they're going to use a right-handed pinch hitter. And the right-handed pinch hitter could be almost anybody because there's not a whole lot there. Doug Flynn's got the best average, but at this point, does it really matter? So we'll go and use Doug Flynn. He's got the best average of anybody. Armbrister could use him, but his average is awful. So we'll go ahead and use Doug Flynn, I guess. Like I said, not that it really matters. Let's see. So Flynn to pinch hit against Tug McGraw. One, 2 is a walk plus chance, so he will walk him. Doug Flynn does draw the pinch hit walk. Pinch hit walk for Doug Flynn. Infield now at halfway. Geronimo is a scheduled hitter, but he's going to be called back against the lefty. And they will go to another right-handed hitter off the bench. Although their bench is definitely horrible. They're going to go to, let's see. With the score being what it is, I think Sparky's put up the red flag and wants to get some players in the game that haven't played. So we're going to have Armbrister hit for Geronimo against the lefty McGraw. 1-1, strikeout chance 14, got him. So Armbrister is gone. That'll bring up Merv Retman. Now 1 out for Retman. McGraw, 4-3. Strikeout chance, 6. Got him. No, take it back. Stadium subtracts 1, so he does not strike him out. Retman will get the swing. Stadium saved him on that one. Whoop, the 20 didn't go through. Let's re-roll that. 5-2. It's a liner to short for out number 2. Don't know if they can double off the runner on a liner to short with a runner at first. You have to roll a 1 for a double play. But the way this game's gone for the Reds, it could very well end that way. No, it does not. So getting back to first is Flynn. He was in like Flynn at first base. Now there are 2 outs for Pete Rose. You can't pinch hit for Pete Rose no matter who you got that needs to play. So we're going to have Pete Rose swing away. McGraw, 1-6. Wild pitch. That's an 8, so it will be a wild pitch. Not that that matters or anything. Wild pitch, and he'll toss it again. 1-1, strikeout 10, but Rose does not strike out. 3-4, that's a ground ball to second. Fielded by Cash, throws to first, and there's your ball game. The Philadelphia Phillies have evened the series at a game apiece, and they take the next 3 back to Philadelphia with the home field advantage. For the Reds in the 9th, no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left. So I'll do the totals real quick. They're not very pretty. Let's check Philadelphia. Philadelphia ended up with 8 runs. They did commit two. Both teams committed 2 errors. 8 runs to 1 run. You hold their big red machine to 1 run, you're doing something. Total hits. Let's see, 9. I got them for 12 hits unofficially. Left on base, they left on 9. For the Reds, 1 run on 5 hits and 2 errors. They left on 3, 5. They left on 9 also. So both of them left on 9. Christenson the winner, Gary Nolan the loser. Of course, there's no save. Yeah, well, sorry, Brian B. The strategy was a good one that you used by doing the intentional walk to Johnstone. But Gary Maddox just said, I got other ideas, and the dice roll came up that way, and that's just the way it goes. So Phillies even the series at a game apiece. And tonight will be, and it's going to have to be live again because I'm not going to have time to record and upload it because I won't be home. So most likely tonight will be, or either I'm going to record it tonight and upload it Monday. I may do that. I haven't decided yet. It will be Game 2 of the ALCS between the Yankees and the Kansas City Royals. So that's going to do it from here. Glad you spent part of your Sunday morning with me. Appreciate everybody stopping by and keeping me straight on some of those rolls that I didn't read correctly, or just clarification on the rules to make sure I got them correctly. And just the way the dice roll sometimes. Player of the game, I'm going to give it to Gary Maddox, I think. Although you could make an argument for Christenson, but Gary Maddox, 3 for 5, and that big 3-run homer that put the game away. So to me, and he made a couple nice range plays in the outfield. So to me, Gary Maddox is your player of the game. 3 for 5, 2 runs scored, and 3 driven in. So to me, that is the player of the game. Gary Maddox gets it done. Game 3, I'm going by whatever they did in real life. So in Game 3 in the NLCS, I believe they did use Jack Billingham. So I'm going to use Billingham in Game 3, Norman in Game 4, and then Gullett in Game 5. I think that's the plan. Philadelphia in Game 3. Let me see who they've got. Phillies in Game 3. We'll go with, let's see. Looks like they might go to, boy, who do they go to here? Their pitchers drop off after the first 2, obviously. Tom Underwood, a lefty, is a possibility. Jim Lonborg or Dick Ruthven. So it looks like it's going to be Tom Underwood for the Phillies, a lefty, against Gary Nolan in Game 3. And in Game 4, it's going to be Dick Ruthven against Fred Norman. And then, of course, if it goes to a 5th game, it'll be back to the Game 1 matchup of Carlton and Gullett. So that's where we're standing right now in this series. And, of course, the Yankee Royal Series, Rudy May is going to get the call for the Yankees, I do believe, in Game 2. I thought Doc Medich, but we're actually going to go with Rudy May. He had a 3.06 ERA, so I'm going with Rudy May in Game 3. Or Game 2, rather, I should say. Medich had a 3.50, so Medich will pitch Game 3. So Game 2, it'll be Rudy May, and I believe he's going to either be facing Al Fitzmaurice or Dennis Leonard. I'm not sure which one. I have to double check who had the better record. Because like I said, neither one of those were in the playoffs. So I'm going to try to do Game 3 live if I can, certainly. Probably, Wednesday night maybe. Looking pretty much at Wednesday night because once these are over, I got to do the Game 3s of the 93 series because those are extra games. So they play 7-game series. So I want to get that done. I don't want this 75 series to end and then I've got 3 games to play on the other one. I want to try to even them up and try to get them to end close to the same time as possible. So, but that's the story and what I've got right now. Don't forget tonight to check out RJL Network for his Inside Pitch 2016 playoffs. And it's going to be the Dodgers and the Cubs. Kenta Maeda against Jake Arrieta from Dodger Stadium. series tied at 1 in the best of 7. But pivotal game 3 sometimes can make or break a series, even a 7-game series. That game 3 can be very pivotal to get that lead. So that's going to do it from here. Again, appreciate you spending part of your Sunday with me, and appreciate RJL and Brian B in particular for keeping me straight on the rules and not misreading the cards or any of that kind of stuff, which can happen when you're rolling dice. It just happens to everybody, especially when you're doing a live video. It can certainly happen that way because there's other things to keep track of. But anyway, no excuses on that. Just roll on. And that's it from here. So till next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.